Andrew Douglas back here in the Action News 5 digital desk. This weekend, in fact, Saturday morning, it's going to be a great, sunny, kind of chilly morning, but it's going to be awesome. And it's happening on Saturday. There's an event at the Memphis Botanic Garden I want to tell you about. It's a walk to end Alzheimer's, and it's all about supporting the Alzheimer's Association and eventually finding a cure for Alzheimer's disease. It's such an important issue, and it's not only an important issue nationwide, and certainly for families and friends that have a family member that has Alzheimer's, but it's also so important to our next guest here on the Action News 5 digital desk. I want to bring in Wes Milligan. He's like a local celebrity here in the Memphis community because of the amount of money he raises for the Alzheimer's Association. He has raised in just 4 years over $200,000. Just one guy. Okay, and this past year he has raised, or this year I should say, $104,000, and it keeps going. Wes, congratulations. How you doing?
Good morning, Andrew. I appreciate it, but just so you know, it takes definitely a village of people to put together that amount of money. And by the way, we just reached $105,000 this year, which is amazing considering, 10 years ago I raised $520, and now we're at this amount. And it's all about building relationships and really connecting with so many people that are searching for a cure. There are more than 6 million people affected by Alzheimer's, and, I'm not going to stop until this disease is done. And I appreciate you mentioning the Memphis Walk to End Alzheimer's. We're very excited to participate this Saturday. It's always one of my favorite days of the year. Registration actually starts at 8:30, and we encourage everyone to come out. The Memphis goal is 265,000, and we're almost there, but we definitely need the community to rally together to make sure we do hit that goal so we can achieve our vision of a world without Alzheimer's and all other dementia.
It's a great event, Wes. It's not only great that it's well attended and it's going to be a nice, cool, crisp fall day, but you're reaching people that are directly affected by Alzheimer's, whether they're caregivers, family members, good friends of someone. I mean, this is one of those diseases where it's just so pervasive that someone knows somebody that's been impacted
Absolutely.
by Alzheimer's.
Yeah, I mean, when I was a journalist a long time ago, I was asked to write a story about Alzheimer's, and I really didn't know much about it at the time. So I thought the best way to get to know it was to research it and really talk to people that have the disease. And Andrew, the stories were heart-wrenching. I interviewed a grandmother that knew she was forgetting her granddaughter. I interviewed a father that knew she was forgetting his daughter. And I didn't have a charity of the choice at the time, so I decided to do the Alzheimer's Association. And every day I meet people who are either a caregiver or even those that are suffering from the disease. And someone knows somebody with it. I mean, and it's not fair. No one deserves to do that. And I've always said it's much harder on the caregivers than the people themselves because they watch this transformation. And it's really heart-wrenching to see their loved ones go through this. And that's why the Walk to End Alzheimer's this Saturday is so important, so that we can come together not only to raise funds, but as a community and raise more awareness about it. Because, this is the, sixth leading cause of death, but it's the number one without a cure. But there's been some amazing news recently about some drugs, one in particular that's in phase 3. So there's hope. And that's what also this walk this Saturday is about, is giving hope to people. And that's actually why I fundraise as well. I mean, sure, that's a lot of money, but more importantly, this money is going towards a future cure, and that there is hope that we will end Alzheimer's.
Full disclosure, you and I have talked at length about Alzheimer's Association. I have a father who is suffering from Alzheimer's right now, and so it's near and dear to my heart for sure. Can you briefly tell, I know you're not a scientist or a medical researcher, but can you briefly tell some of the recent breakthroughs that have happened when it comes to Alzheimer's? Because it's interesting to hear some of those recent breakthroughs, very promising.
Yeah, well, first, I'm not a medical expert myself, but I do encourage people to download the Alzheimer's Association Science Hub app on their mobile phone. It can give you all the information you need about all the drugs that are in the pipeline, maybe particular trials that are going on, and all that hope message that we're talking about, because there are so many trials going on. But lately, in the past few months, there's been definitely some breakthroughs, and I always mispronounce the name of the drug, but there's a drug in phase 3, aducanumab. But if you download the Alzheimer's Association Science Hub app, you can read all about it. And it's very encouraging. I mean, for more than 20 years, we haven't had a drug approved by the FDA to treat Alzheimer's and some of the symptoms. And now it's here. And that's because of all the funds we've raised and all the awareness we've done from 20 years or more to get to this point. And there's so much more. The Alzheimer's Association from a national level is saying this is just the tip of all the things that are coming through the pipeline, through research, through the things that are coming out drug related, that it's going to, be another step towards ending Alzheimer's forever. I mean, this is the most encouraging year when it comes to research that since I've gotten involved volunteering more than 15 years ago.
I love hearing it. It really does instill a lot of hope out there for people that are affected by this disease. Wes, you've raised in your lifetime over $300,000, $318,000 for this disease. You're just one person. You're not a corporation or anything like that. How do you do it?
Well, first you got to share your story, right? I mean, whether it's through social media, whether it's in-person meetings, whether just talking to friends. I mean, when I started sharing my story, I didn't realize how many of my friends and their families were affected by the disease. So when this started more than 10 years ago, the story spreads. You start putting that out there, and then, then friends start jumping on board. They join the team, they join the cause, and then I got involved with the board. But it really came down to really just sharing that story and showing why it's so important to raise that awareness. I'd be honest with you, if you told me that I'd raised $318,000 right now in my lifetime, I think you're crazy. But then again, the more I heard about the stories, the more I heard about all the people who are suffering and that need to find this cure, it fueled me to keep going. And no matter what's going on my day, I try to every day try to connect with someone and try to raise money. And I cannot thank all of my friends, family members, even strangers who have reached out to me, who have donated money. I mean, you're right. I mean, this is not, just one check. This is hundreds, if not thousands of donations every year to come together to end this deadly disease. And it humbles me every day when I get that email notification that says you've received a donation, because it's not just money. It's someone who is also joining the cause and trying to fight this deadly disease.
So the Memphis Walk to End Alzheimer's is going to take place once again this Saturday morning. It's going to be at the Memphis Botanic Garden, which is beautiful this time of year. Registration is at 8:30. Opening ceremony begins at 9:30. Wes, what else can we say?
Well, I do encourage people from now until November 29th. We have actually what's called the T-shirt challenge, where always people see me with my hashtag End ALZ shirt, but there's also a T-shirt challenge where we're going to introduce a T-shirt that has the Memphis skyline. So if they raise more than $250 from now until November 29th, they will get that special edition T-shirt that does say hashtag 901 End ALZ with a skyline. I love the shirt, and Lord knows I could always use another Alzheimer's Association shirt. So please come out. You can also go to alz.org and sign up. And I always say this too, if anyone needs resources from the association, whether you're in Memphis or anyone else, please contact me. I'd be more than happy to point you in the right direction, because we're always here to help.
Wes Milligan, congratulations. You're doing yeoman's work, raising all that money for an amazing cause there that affects so many families across the Mid-South and across the country. Thanks so much, Wes. We appreciate it, and have a great time on Saturday.
Thanks, Andrew. It's always nice to talk to you.